Welcome back everyone on this lovely Sunday morning. It's Angela here today, and I'm here just to bring you a really quick little project for our Sunday morning. I hope you're excited to follow along. The sun has made a very brief appearance. I hope that it is going to stay a little brighter than it has been this morning. That being said, let's move on to our little card making project. Right, I briefly showed you the little card that I was making with some of the dried flowers that I made just a few days ago. And I thought I would share that with you. It's really a simple process. It looks more involved than it is. So I thought I'd share that with you today. Here's the little card. And as you can see, I've just put a little bit of ribbon on the top there. I've cut out a little, fussy cut a little piece of one of my pages. I've made a bit of a heart design with some of those flowers, put on birthday wishes. You could put any sentiments that you like, really. And when you open that up, I've put a little strip of paper there just to bring some color. Used one of my little sentiments from the Sentiments and Ephemera kit. I've used one of my lace pages just to cut out with my decal-edged guillotine and added some decoration, ready for you to write a personal message there. And then on the back, it's just plain like that. So that's what we're going to make today. And it's really not very difficult to make at all. So let's get started. I'll put that to the side over there. Right. What do you need? Well, the first thing I took one of my mini pages. Now, these mini pages are part of the journal pages for my Wildflower wishes. What I did was, not with this one, but with this one, I have slightly reduced the scale of it. So I've done it with a border, and then I've just reduced it by about 2%. So it's slightly smaller. I didn't do that with this one though. So this one I did slightly trim, probably 1/6 or 1/4 of an inch maybe from the top there, so you can see the daisies are off. So probably about that much, 1/4 of an inch. But this one I just reduced slightly, ever so slightly. All right, so I think if you had to print it with the border, you pretty much get the desired effect. So this is what I've taken. Now I'm only going to use one of these pieces. So then I cut that in half and I fussy cut that out. So I'm going to show you exactly what I did there. So I just cut around, and I've got it here so I can show you. I cut around the daisies just into those leaves there. Cut around those little leaves at the top, the little flowers there, so nothing too involved, and then right down to the bottom with the two little leaves coming out. So that's what I've done. So we're going to use that as our little base. Then I have taken, with this one, I took my gingham backing paper. And now I had one of these sheets lying there, so I thought, right, this is one of my peach lace pages. I thought I would just use that to make a card. Now, this is difficult when I need to get my head over the top there, but I would say make sure you match up those corners really well. Fold it in half. We're folding it in half both ways, so it doesn't matter which way you're going to do that. I want to just grab my bone folder here. Nice crisp edges do help. Right, so we've got it that way. Then we're going to open that up. I do this with paper. I don't find it necessary to do this with card, because this is 160 GSM paper or 60-pound weight, and it is absolutely ample for strength, and I do this all the time, so I don't go and spend money on card. This does the job perfectly well. All right, so you're just going to fold that over nicely, and then on this side as well. All right, and then what I want to do is move that out the way. I'm going to open that up. I want to just take my glue stick, and I want to just put glue across one half of this, and the half is you know, not these two all right, so we've got that there. Now this one needs a little bit more. Now I am going to sew this. If you are not going to sew this, and of course you do not have to, then I would use a better glue than a glue stick just to make sure it's going to stay in place. And then just again match up those corners. Right, so let's just hope I've got that right, and I do, so that's good. Right, so we've got that there. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is, of course, I've now got glue over here. I am going to just give this a little bit of a border stitch like I did over here. So I'm going to do that ever so quickly just on the outer edge, and I'll be back with you in a moment. Okay, so I have stitched around the edge there. I've also distressed it a little bit, and then I have done the same on the side as well. Now if you don't like, if you get these sort of raised bits here, which I don't like, just take your bone folder and very firmly just squash those holes down, and they make a big difference in getting rid of that you know, holy bit on there, making it a little bit flatter. All right, so that's what I suggest there. Okay, so they're lying nice and flat. So that's the inside, and then of course we've got our outside section as well. So just make sure when you bend that over that you get that to lie nice and flat like that. All right, so we there with that one. All right, now what I did was, as I said, cut out one of those. You can see it's slightly smaller, and it doesn't really matter which way you do it. If you're happier with that, or with one that slightly fills the page a little bit more. All right, so that's what we've got there. I'm going to just put that to the side for the moment. What I did now was, I was looking for a heart shape. I went and took my little die cuts that I had. I've placed that where I wanted it, which is pretty central. And as you know, I'm going to put on those little sentiments. So I've taken scraps of old book pages, and using my little stamps, I've stamped out birthday. I've torn it by hand. That one I'm going to put up there. And then I've got another one, wishes, or whatever your message is. And then I've put the heart there just to make sure I've positioned it correctly. So that's what I've done there. We'll stick those on in a moment. So it's just a case of using your whatever shape. If you can draw a shape, cut it out, use your pencil and just very softly mark it out. Okay, not too dark, as light as you possibly can. And now what we're going to do is we're going to fill those in. So I'm using my Fabri-Tac glue here. Let's just put this over there so I can use my little stand. And then what I did was I took my wildflowers. So we did the wildflower pressing in my last video. If you haven't seen that, go and take a look. I will put it in the playlist for the Wildflower Wishes project. So I've stored mine in this container, which is nice and airtight, and I've pressed them with the the kitchen roll and kept them separate like that, and it works a charm. So I've got them for whatever project now, or tags or anything else, cards, anything else like that. So what we want to do now is we want to fill this up with glue. So we're going to, I use the Fabri-Tac. I find that it does a really good job, and you want to just fill that in here. So let's get that. I think I'm going to use the other one because I don't need a fine point. So, okay, so we want to fill up this area with right to the edge. Follow the shape like that and make it substantially thick. You know, fit it in nicely. This is going to be the part that's going to adhere those flowers to your card. So you want to make sure they're going to stick. Now we might have to add little bits as we go. We'll get to that. But at the moment, that's what we're doing. So I'll just leave that in the upright position. Now it's just a case of gathering the flowers and arranging them. So it's just trial and error. and I've just gathered a few here. So I'm looking for rounded ones now to sort of fit into the curve of the heart shape. Now you can use any shape. You can use a circle, a square, whatever you want. This is a beautiful little yellow one. Now the color from the microwave really is so beautifully preserved. So I'm just going to be fitting these in as we go. And while I'm doing this, I thought I would take another one of the questions that I was asked. And I thought I'd answer that. So the question today is, how do you get paid by YouTube? And they wanted to know about that. So I thought, okay, let me share that with you. It's not a secret. Right, so the first thing that I will say is, in order to get paid by YouTube, you need to be monetized. Now, what that means is that you make your channel, you follow certain rules, which is having 1,000 subscribers as a minimum. And then you go and sign up with the YouTube partnership program, and that enables them to put ads on your channel. And that's how you become monetized. So you're able to earn money from that. So that's what it is. It sounds glamorous, but it's not really. If I'm honest, you don't earn a lot of money unless you are getting millions of views, to be fair. So yeah, it's not all it's cracked up to be. The rules are, basically, the two important things are that you have 1,000 subscribers, and then within 1 year, 1 year period, you ensure that you have a minimum of 4,000 hours of viewing time. So those are the criteria required for being monetized on YouTube, and that can take a long time. It took me a long time. Now, there are lots of things that come into play, and what counts as a YouTube video, a view, and all of that. And we will get into that into a second. I just want to find another little bit to go on the edge there quickly. So while I'm looking for that, a little bit of this burnt orange color like that. Right, so we've got everything pretty much in play there now. I'm just seeing if there's anything else I want to add there. I think that looks pretty good. I love the little daisy poking out there, right? So back onto that, you need to have a Google AdSense account as well. Now, AdSense pay you on a monthly basis, usually around the 25th of the month. So the big thing is, how do you get paid? Well, you need to have views on your channel, and you need to have adverts, and of course a minimum of 1,000 subscribers. The number of subscribers you have doesn't really influence what you earn. I'm going to stick on these two sentiments while I'm talking to you. But of course, if you don't have subscribers, they don't watch your channel, they don't get the notifications that you are having new content and videos. So I suppose that's important. But yes, it doesn't mean because you have millions of subscribers or whatever that you're getting more views than the next person, you know, so that's important to note. It is all based on views. Yeah, and so how many views do you need to get paid, and how much do you get paid would be the next question, I suppose. Well, YouTube works in what they call CPI, that's cost per impression. They work on 1,000 CPIs, and that means, or 1,000 views. You get paid in US dollars no matter where in the world you are. So that is, for me, depends on the currency and exchange rate, and if the pound is strong, we earn less, and if the dollar's stronger, we earn more. So, you know, that plays a role. Now, you can get paid anything between $2 to $5 or more, depending on what the advertiser pays for their YouTube slots, and of course whether you've got content they want to sponsor. So it's about supply and demand, really. So to give you an example, if I have a video and 5,000 people watch it, you are looking at getting anything between $10 to $25 at the top end, although it's closer to the 10 than the 25, to be fair. So that's how it works. Now, people have asked me, well, if they watch the adverts, do you get paid more? Well, that's a good question. And yes, if you watch the adverts that are on there, and if you watch half the advert, that means it's counted as a view, and it's beneficial to people like me who have a YouTube channel. If you watch the skippable adverts and you watch half of them, again, you get paid less money for that, but you need to watch half the advert for them to be considered out of view, if that makes sense. If you don't watch the adverts, the YouTuber will then earn less money. So that does play a role. I hope that makes sense. All right. Now there are many different ways to make money on YouTube besides just having content. Content means just having videos. So I would say that watching videos and making content does play a role, but of course I make 3 videos a week, and you know, it's not something I can live off. I can tell you that. You don't earn a lot of money, so from it, it's like pocket money, really. And if you've heard any of the YouTubers in this community talk about it, they will have mentioned it's not a lot of money. It's minuscule. It doesn't pay my mortgage by a long shot, so not even half. So you know, it's like really not worth writing home about. So you need to be doing something else, like making journals or something else. So that's the other thing. But there are other ways people make money. They have subscriptions to their YouTube channels, or they do Patreon, which is like a subscription. Let me just grab my fabric tack here quickly. Let me stick this on before I carry on. I'm going to use the fabric tack because this is just a piece of ribbon that I've got here. And I want to just stick it on behind the back of this bit before I stick it down completely. So I haven't quite stuck it down there. I want to just find the middle bit. So yeah, I just wanted a little decorative bit here. You don't have to do this, of course. All right, now I can go and stick that all down. Okay, here we go. All right, so we can move that out the way so you can see better. Okay, so I've stuck that all down, and that's pretty well stuck down too. Okay, we're going to turn this now to the inside. I don't want to put this completely down because that bit's drying. Right, what I'm going to do is go and start with this bit here. So what I've done was I've taken one of my cream lace background pages. This is part of that tea, avo and lace background sheets, one that I use all the time. I've just cut out a piece here to fit in. So this is 1/4 of a page size, whether you're using A4 or US letter. And I've just put it, made it to fit in here. So you've got about 1/4 of an inch there and more like 1/2 an inch of a gap there. And I'm going to stick that down. Right, back to what I was saying. Yes, so you've got different ways to earn money. I have considered the options, but I don't want to be charging people. It's just my personal choice. I don't want to be having a subscription or a payment process for sharing my content. That's not my choice. So I prefer it to be reachable for anybody. And that is just my personal opinion. I have nothing against people who prefer to use subscriptions or Patreon or whatever. That's their choice. and I'm even a member of Two People's Patreon, so there's nothing wrong with that. But it's a personal choice. I think that there are other ways that people can make money on YouTube, and you've seen all sorts of things. You know, you can sell merchandise, you can have links for other sort of things like affiliate links like Amazon. You know, I have that. People do buy me a coffee. There you have that. I don't do that. But the one that I do have, which I haven't even mentioned, is Super Thanks. That's the newest way to make money on YouTube. It's not that you're making lots of money, but it's like a contribution that people are able to utilize. You'll see it on the bottom of the video. It says Super Thanks, and you're able to make a donation if you're wanting to. I'm not saying that, I'm not asking you to do that. That's something that people are able to do to help with you with the costs that that you incur with putting videos together, which I can tell you is a lot, especially if you're doing a lot of videos. So I mean, there are lots of costs involved with materials, coming up with ideas, buying things, using things, shipping things, lighting, all sorts of costs. So and of course a lot of people make an income, so like I do. So this is my income. So you know, it does take a lot of time to do this. So of course you know, it's a great way to make that contribution, but please do not feel obliged to do that. I'm not holding it against you if you don't. I'm not that kind of a person at all. It's just a nice to have, and I always put off things like buy me a coffee because I feel like I need to apologize for doing something like that. I don't know why, but I just couldn't bring myself to do it. And then when I saw YouTube do this, I thought, should I or shouldn't I? But then I thought, well, I do get people asking me. So there it is now. I have Super Thanks. What is Super Thanks? You're able to put a little message. Your messages get priority in my comment section. So I see them first, because obviously it takes a lot of time to answer messages, and I might take a few days to get to all of them. There is that. And then it gets highlighted to me, and I can write you a response and a thank you immediately. So, well, as fast as they release it. What happens to the money? Well, the money that you pay into, make a donation to for Super Thanks, goes to my payment account, and I get that at the end of the month. They do take a percentage for service fees, as you know, why would YouTube do it otherwise? But that is just what it is, isn't it? All right, so I've just put on this little bit here. I've added a little bee. That comes from my ephemera pack, or in the mini journals if you bought those. Stuck on a little sentiment here, and just put a strip of paper with cut a little banner over there, just to sort of add to it. And there we have our little card. It was really a quick process. And there's the other one. Okay, so I hope that you've enjoyed following along with me as I nattered along about YouTube. And I hope that that's given you a few answers about how YouTube works. So if you're wanting to know how to make assist me in making money every month, a little bit of money to contribute towards my you know, running of my YouTube channel, then now you know you can do that for free by just watching half an ad or watching the videos. That is enough. But if you're feeling you're wanting to do more and make a contribution, which is very gladly accepted but definitely not a requirement, you are able to go below the video, any video of mine, and click on the Super Thanks, and able to make a contribution that way. So there we go. I thought I'd never say that because I don't know, I always feel awkward about that, and I feel like I'm always having to apologize. It's just me. But yes, I'm just happy for you to watch my videos and, you know, and try some of these little ideas for yourself, and that makes me feel fulfilled anyway. All right. Right, I hope that you've had lots of fun with this. I do want to say that my sale in my Etsy shop ends at midnight tonight on Sunday. So you've got a couple of hours if you're wanting to pick up a deal there. But very importantly, I would like to say to all of those people celebrating Independence Day tomorrow, on the 4th of July, so mostly I would imagine in America, a very happy 4th of July, and may you have brilliant weather and lots of fun entertainment and time together. I have been in America on the 4th of July and enjoyed a beautiful display by Macy's of the fireworks and everything, and lots of exciting things going on there. So I'm thinking of you all, and I'll see you guys all on Tuesday, where we're going to make another little fun project together. So until then, guys, stay safe and see you all very soon. Bye-bye.